Hey, radio family, we've got a new way to win. Ace TJ Prime Rewards. Win great stuff like gift cards, Ace and TJ merch, concert tickets, and exclusive money can't buy experiences. Win it all with Ace TJ Prime Rewards. It's so easy. Download the Ace and TJ Family app in your app store or at acetj.com/app and start winning with Ace TJ Prime Rewards. New winners every week. Fun and free. Get the app and play Ace TJ Prime Rewards. We always knew you were a winner. Now it's your chance to prove it. Get the app today.
If it's trending, it's here now. This is Now Trending with Riggins on the Ace and TJ Show.
So Ellen says she's done. She's talking to an audience during a stand-up show, and she said, after my next Netflix special, which is out later this year, I'm done. You're never going to see me again.
Well, somebody even asked her, would she be willing to voice, is it Dory? What's that movie?
Finding Nemo.
Finding Nemo. And she said, nope, done. Like, I'm going away. You'll never see me again.
Ellen DeGeneres?
Yeah, I guess I should have clarified.
Okay.
No, Ellen Pompeo.
Not Pompeo.
She also said she's not mean. She pointed that out. Like, I'm not a mean person.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, well, I don't know. There are a lot of stories there that you are kind of mean.
So you're not talking about Miss Ellen Comer that lives down the street from me.
Miss Ellen. No, but I think that I kind of respect that. She's like, listen, you guys canceled me once. I'm back doing a couple stand-up things, and then you're never going to see me again. I guess there's a part of me that respects that.
Sure, I had to fulfill this Netflix contract, and I got a boatload of cash at home waiting on me to come spend it. So I'm check it out.
But it could be just a ploy to get people to watch the Netflix thing. Like, this is the last time you're going to see me. Like, almost making it sound like that, she's going to off herself or something.
Yeah.
I'm dying. You're never going to, like a mother's guilt.
Right. Get big numbers on Netflix after that.
She may be taking a page from the rock band Kiss and their retirement tours and all.
One more show.
You wouldn't let us leave.
They've been doing retirement shows since the early 80s.
It's true.
You wouldn't let us leave.
And then some movie news. Pretty shocking stuff. Inside Out 2 has now become the highest grossing Pixar movie ever.
Really?
And it's now the fourth highest grossing animated film of all time.
And not slowing down. It's not done yet.
No, it just came out a couple months ago, and it's right there. So it's like, this is bigger than all the Toy Story movies. It's Pixar. So a lot of people are going to see Inside Out too.
But it doesn't seem to be. You know what I mean?
It's like
you don't see or hear as many people talking about this as they did a Toy Story or something when it came out. It just doesn't. It just seems like it quietly keeps blowing up at the box office.
Yeah, this is bigger than Frozen 2.
Well, go look at the box office of what kind of competition it's got.
Yeah, maybe.
That could have something. You're right. It could have a lot to do with it.
Maybe. Nothing else to see.
Because I was just down there last weekend.
Right.
I was doing a research project at the thing, and I went and saw that Bad Boys movie, and pretty much nothing else playing that I would have said, hey, let's come back and see that later.
Yeah, especially if you want to take your kids. That's pretty much the only thing to go see. Yeah, right. Who
Terrible.
wants to do that?
Oh, that's right. You still have a little one.
Yeah,
I don't have any little stinky
kids.
Go
see Inside Out too. And then just one more movie note. We've been talking about Horizon, this Kevin Costner movie. The second one was supposed to come out on August 16th. The movie company has decided we're no longer putting out the second one on August 16th. So not a good sign for Kevin Costner's 4-part Horizon saga.
Well, they did say it's still going to come out. It's going to come out.
Sure.
But the Horizon goes to streaming services next week. And so their hope is...
Also not good.
Yeah, right. But their hope is that kind of begins to generate interest. So it's ready to go by late August, early September, it'll be ready to roll out.
He survived a major flop before. That Water World that he was in was terrible.
Oof.
Yeah, but I think he funded that one too.
But in this case, what did it say? It cost $100 million. He put in $38 million of his own money, and they've only made $22 million.
Yeah, it's crazy. So those are just a few things that are now trending.
Attention is a very important thing in a relationship. You need it, you want it, but what do you do when you're not getting it? Oh, the radio family has spoken, and it's kind of wild. Coming up next.
Live on your radio and anytime you want us, wherever you get podcasts. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
When it comes to losing weight, sometimes you don't even know where to start. You know that it needs to happen, but you need some help. Well, you start by going to acetj.com/weight loss and ordering Calitrin. Calitrin is scientifically proven to help you lose weight, and it is not a drug. It is not a drug. Repeat that. So here's what you do. You go to acetj.com/Calitrin, order 3 months, and then you'll get 3 months free. 4 months, 4 months free. That's how it works with Calitrin.
This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Free Slurpee Day, everybody. Ooh. Yeah, hit your 7-Eleven for a free Slurpee Day because, today's 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven? It's not like if you're going to stop somewhere anyway, just go, hey, I'm going to get some gas. I'm going to run in and get a free Slurpee.
Heck yeah.
By the way, 7-Elevens and Speedways. Because 7-Eleven owns Speedway. You can get a Slurpee at Speedway today for free.
Well, we got a Speedway real close to here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Suddenly Rob's plans for the day have changed.
Fired up.
You're going to go stand in line for a free small Slurpee.
My lucky day.
I'm sorry, but I think it's hardly worth it. Well, now, if you're going into those stores to get some real stuff and you're going to do some shopping, that's great.
Yeah, maybe
but just to go for the Slurpee, I don't think it's.
I need to get some gas. And, I'll drive an extra mile to get that free Slurpee and get some gas.
But it's no purchase necessary on these things.
Right, that's right. It's free.
So you know how many people are just going to be going in there for the Slurpee.
Let me get that Slurpee and some scratchers, please.
Yeah. You read my mind, Rob. You read my mind.
Hey, time for S&S, baby. Slurpee and scratchers.
We had a story earlier in the week. I don't know where did this come from. The lady that said when she wants attention from her boyfriend, that she orders fajitas in the restaurant. Was that you that was telling us that, Riggins?
Yeah.
And I forgot what we were even talking about that. That has just lived in my head since then.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The fact that if her boyfriend's not giving her enough attention, she orders fajitas. That way the entire restaurant gives her attention when they bring the fajitas out, and then he's stuck having to see everybody looking at her and looking at them, and she gets all the attention she wants.
I thought it wasn't even, he didn't even have to be with her. She just had to feel like she's not getting enough attention in general.
Oh.
And so she orders fajitas because she knows that everybody will be looking at her.
I just completely misunderstood that part.
Yeah, it's even crazier, Ace.
I've thought about that over and over again, like, but they're really not giving you attention. They're just looking like, oh, who got the fajitas? The whole place stinks now.
Well, she didn't say good attention. I mean, just attention.
I want to be seen.
Yeah. That's what's even sicker about it. It's like, I don't even care if they're annoyed. I just need some eyeballs on me.
I need people looking at me. So I've been thinking about that for like 3 days. Since, was it Monday, I believe you mentioned that? I was just like, that's so crazy to me. Mm-hmm. And then I posted it on our social media last night. Like, I just wonder, what's the radio family like? Is there a situation where people would be honest enough to say, oh yeah, when I need attention, this is how I do it. Now, let me go ahead and say for the record, my apologies. I didn't proofread. Robin, thanks for correcting my misspelling. I guess I misspelled Monday. Then it was a little back and forth between people saying, somebody posted a thing that said, here, I got you a badge, and it says grammar police to correct and serve. And then they had a little back and forth. They were being nasty with each other. But, that was kind of fun.
I wear that proudly.
Yeah.
It's to protect and serve the language.
So a couple of examples that came from the radio family. One lady said, I just tell him I need attention. Okay, that's interesting. Another lady said, I get it from our golden doodle. He's always showing up for me and giving me attention. Does that even count if you're getting the attention from a dog?
Yes.
It does.
Yeah, of course.
Because it gives you the feeling of being appreciated.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what this is all about. It's like they don't care if it's positive attention, negative attention. They just want attention. You just want attention.
So at the Ace TJ show, when I need attention, I blank. Now, DM is to remain anonymous. We got a couple of DMs that are just spectacular. At the Ace TJ show, when I want attention, I blank. Be completely honest. Just DM us and be completely honest. We'll get your answers next.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
Our friend Richard Toccato of the Richard Toccato Companies is here, and you got a lot of pressure on you right now with the credit card debt. Let Richard help you. What are you going to do?
We're going to skip summer and make payments in the fall. How about that?
Nice.
And the best part about it is they're going to do that using the equity in your very own home. All you have to do is let Richard Toccato and the Richard Toccato Companies walk you through the process. It starts with one free 5-minute phone call, 704-800-4719, 704-800-4719, or online at homewithrichard.com.
Richard Toccato Companies, Equal Housing Opportunity, NMLS number 38652.
Available when you want it, how you want it. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
When I want attention, I blank. Now, surprisingly, No men have answered this question. Not right or wrong. There's just a difference in how men and women approach things. Men don't really worry about getting a ton of attention, I don't think, in a relationship.
Except for one kind.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So,
and it hampers us.
So, for example, Christy says, I just start taking shots of Captain Morgan. Doesn't take him long to notice. What? Okay. So when he's not giving you attention, you just start, you stay in the kitchen and do shots?
That's an interesting strategy.
And he realizes, oh, I should probably pay attention to it right now. Something's going on.
Whoa.
Dana said, I just put my leg in his lap. And then he rubs my leg.
Rub it.
And then there's this DM. When my husband isn't really paying attention to me in the summer, I just go tan by the pool. We have an older neighbor who always talks to me when he sees me and tells me how cute I look. My husband hates it.
Really? Yeah. Oh, look at you. So golden and bronzed.
Brown as a berry.
I wonder how old the older neighbor is.
Sounds old. She wouldn't put that in the like older.
How old is she?
Looks to be in her mid-30s.
He's probably younger than we are, Ace.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
He's probably like older guy. He's like 50.
Dirty old man.
Creep. What a creep.
Yeah, look at this old creep. Oh, that hurts. I like this one, though. This lady said, there's a neighbor who is a chef in our building. If my boyfriend isn't paying attention to me, I just get some cooking, quote unquote, advice and make sure that my boyfriend knows that he helped me with the dish. He loves the dish, but I always get great attention after that for a few days.
Well, do you think it might be because, the traditional way to a man's heart's through his stomach, that it's the food that's getting you the attention, not the fact that a chef who's a man gave you the instructions.
But she goes so far as to point out to make sure that the boyfriend knows, yeah, is it good? He's like, it's, like, let's say he would say, like, it's great. She goes, yeah, I asked TJ down the hall, and he gave me a different mix of spices to put in there. And so the guy he has to know. Oh.
But I bet he does not care where she got the help because it's delicious, and that's all he cares about.
He's
giving her attention for doing something nice for him. Have you ladies ever thought about that as a good way to get attention?
What, to do something
to do
nice
something
for him?
Nice for your guy?
I don't know.
That's unsolicited. Possibly a hug and a kiss on the cheek and say, I'm proud of you. You know that?
Would it bother you to find out either one of these things? Like, no. Riggins, you're married. Would it bother you to find out that your wife wears her bikini and lays by the pool so the old guy will give her attention?
That one is weird to me.
Okay.
But I'm like, if you're going to make these sloppy joes all the time, throw it away. If it's a food thing, I wouldn't care.
Hey, there's being honest, and then there's maybe being a little bit too honest. A college football coach might have been a little too honest, and has started quite a controversy. Coming up next.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
Richard Toccato, the Richard Toccato Companies is here, and he's all about options. That's what you're always saying. I got options. I got options. What are the options?
The options are to get the equity out of your house at the most cost-effective way that's going to save you the most amount of money, paying off credit cards, home improvement, whatever you want to do.
And that's one of the reasons you would use the Richard Toccato Companies instead of a bank, because they give you so many options. And it all starts with one free 5-minute phone call, 704-800-4719, or online at homewithrichard.com.
Richard Toccato Companies, equal housing opportunity, NMLS number 38652.
The Johnson Group has been cleaning some of Charlotte's most prestigious businesses since 1985. Family owned and operated. Learn more at acetj.com/clean. It's first class cleaning with the Johnson Group.
Available when you want it, how you want it. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
What happens when speaking your mind and being honest backfires on you? Coming up in about 30 seconds. But something is happening I'm really excited about, only because I've waited a long time to do it. It revolves around our charity, Peyton's Promise, and my podcast, The Meaningful Meeting. Wednesday, July 24th, there is going to be the first ever live edition of my podcast, The Meaningful Meeting, with an audience. It's happening at Lost Worlds Brewing in Cornelius, North Carolina. And we'll be giving you more details about how to get signed up. But if you're a Prime member, an Ace and TJ Prime member, acetj.com/Prime, you're going to get the details within the next week or so, in the next few days, and how you can get signed up. It's a small crowd. We don't have a big room, but it's kind of a test run of something I've wanted to do for a long time, for our charity, Peyton's Promise, and for the podcast, The Meaningful Meeting. So you can get a little bit of the details in The Meaningful Meeting, which is out now, this week's edition. Wherever you download podcasts, you can watch it on our YouTube channel, Ace TJ TV. Mike Gundy is the head football coach at Oklahoma State University. And he was interviewed about his star running back, Ollie Gordon, who was arrested under suspicion of DUI on June 30th. And he had a very honest take when it comes to the situation. Here is what he said. Quote, I looked it up on my phone. What would be the legal limit? In Oklahoma, it's 0.08. Ollie was a 0.10. It was based off body weight. That's really 2 or 3 beers, or 4. Well, I thought, I've probably done that 1,000 times in my life. And you know, it's just fine. So I got lucky. People get lucky. End quote. While he's being honest, this has started quite a bit of controversy.
Yeah, honest and correct.
What do you mean?
That could have just been a couple of beers and he was fine.
Yeah. He said, quote, later, I'm not justifying what Ollie did. I'm just telling you what decision I made. I'm going to do what we think is best for Oklahoma State football. If there's any punishment, it's making him carry the ball 50 times in the first game, end quote.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that because I'm saying leave the guy alone. Well, I'm just saying that those are the facts. He was talking about how they traced that, and that could just be 2 or 3 beers. Yeah. But still, if you're not supposed to drive, you're not supposed to drive.
Yeah, and people are saying, quote, I thought I probably done that 1,000 times in my life. And you know, it's just fine. So I got lucky. People get lucky. End quote. I mean, it's kind of, it is. It's the bravado it takes to say something like that is kind of funny. It makes me laugh.
Mm-hmm. And to me, it's refreshing that somebody like that is not afraid to say, you know, what he's actually thinking and what the facts are of his life.
Yeah, whether you agree with him or not, he's being honest.
Yeah, it's courageous, I think, to say that.
But you definitely haven't heard the last of it. I just find I'm waiting to see what happens next, because clearly this has started a firestorm. People say, you can't say that. Well, I can.
Successful coaches can get away with more.
That's true. They really can. He's been there a long time.
Mm-hmm. This is the Ace and TJ Show.
Big announcement from Ellen, plus everything you need to know coming up in Now Trending.
It's a radio show. It's a podcast. It even has its own app.
Got the app on my phone, and it's like having a personal DJ in my pocket.
Get the Ace and TJ Family app in your app store.
Download the app.
Or at acetj.com/app.
Our friend Richard Toccato of the Richard Toccato Companies is here, and you know you got a lot of pressure on you right now with the credit card debt. Let Richard help you. What are you going to do?
We're going to skip summer and make payments in the fall. How about that?
Nice.
And the best part about it is they're going to do that using the equity in your very own home. All you have to do is let Richard Toccato and the Richard Toccato Companies walk you through the process. It starts with one free 5-minute phone call, 704-800-4719, 704-800-4719, or online at homewithrichard.com.
Richard Toccato Companies, Equal Housing Opportunity, NMLS number 38652.
Currents is Lake Norman's #1 lifestyle magazine. Every month, Currents brings you the latest news on what's happening in the Lake Norman area. They've been serving the Lake Norman community for over 13 years. See the latest issue of Currents now at lncurrents.com.
If it's trending, it's here now. This is Now Trending with Riggins on the Ace and TJ Show.
As Ace mentioned earlier, you can go to a 7-Eleven and get a free Slurpee today.
Yep.
Because it is July 11th, 7-Eleven. So it makes sense.
I don't know what about 7-Eleven this morning. You know, originally that's because they were open from 7 to 11.
Yeah, right.
In the 40s. And then in the 60s, they would have been open 24 hours. And they were like, well, we're already called 7-Eleven, so just stay with it.
Keep it if it's not broke. I hope they still have good flavors of the Slurpee. I haven't gotten a Slurpee many, many years, but I'm hoping they're sticking with the classics. Coca-Cola, cherry, or is that just icy? I don't know.
You going to try to hit one today?
I don't know. It might be a little premature to do the Slurpee. My
There's
body
one right
just
by
not.
your house.
Oh, is there?
There's a 7-Eleven right by your house, Riggins.
Yeah, I might have to try. I just feel like my body is not ready for a Slurpee. There's just no good reason to have a Slurpee at my current state.
You might as well just go ahead and get a candy necklace while you're there.
Right.
Have a good lunch.
Some ring pops or something. Ellen is trending today. She was speaking in front, or she was doing some stand-up comedy, and she took some questions from the audience, and they asked her, somebody asked her what her next move was, and she goes, well, honestly, I've already been canceled once. She said, I hit the triple crown. I'm old, mean, and gay. And after my Netflix special comes out later this year, you'll probably never see me again.
So what is the triple crown of what?
Old, mean, and gay.
Well,
meaning like no one's looking for her in Hollywood anymore.
What?
That's what she's saying.
Okay.
She called it the triple crown, but she does have another.
I think one of the reasons nobody's looking for her in Hollywood right now is because that whole thing about how mean she was being to people. They're like, you know what? That show didn't end well. So that's going to take some time. So relax. It had nothing to do with you being old and gay. It's the fact that you're mean.
Yeah.
And that's why nobody wants to deal with you, because your last show kind of didn't end on a high note.
Yeah, which is, they're going to write books about that. I mean, to go from like the queen of nice, that's what she's known for, being this nice, wonderful person, to everyone just hating you universally.
So remind me how it happened. It was a couple of years ago, right?
Yeah.
And that's when she came out as gay, and then America turned on her and canceled her? Is that when
not like that at all,
worked?
Huh? No. She came out as,
when did she do that?
During her sitcom, I believe.
Yeah, in the 90s.
Oh, back in the 90s. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
But
she had no success after that.
So they canceled her in the 90s, and it just took.
I don't know.
In 2020.
It has nothing to do with being old and gay.
Wow.
It has everything to do with the fact that everybody said you were mean and people didn't like you when your show ended.
Well, maybe old.
Yeah.
Hollywood doesn't like old people.
Yeah. Listen, if Portia de Rossi was waiting for me at my house, I wouldn't want to go to work either.
Mm-hmm.
Stunning,
She's sweet.
Stunning woman. And then Kevin Costner's Horizon. Part 2 is not coming out in August, so if you're excited to see Part 2 of Horizon American Saga, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer, because it's already going to video on demand, I believe, next week, which is not a good sign for a $100 million movie when it goes to directly to your home box office just a few weeks after it was released. But those are just a few things that are now trending.
All right, fair season is coming up. But you know what? I don't know if fall is fair season or around the country or just in the South where we were raised, Ace. But it's always in the fall in the South. So they're getting a head start on it, or tried to, in a small town in Ohio, and things just didn't go well for them. So crazy fair story, you know, that's going to be funny coming up next.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
Well, here we are, another new year, and you're, again, going to try to lose that weight you've been needing to lose for a long time. Well, here's what you need. You need Calitrin to help, because Calitrin is not a drug. No, not at all. It is natural and effective. It's scientifically proven to help you lose weight and get better sleep. When you buy 3 months supply of Calitrin, you will get 3 months free right now, and consistency is the key with Calitrin. So order it today at acetj.com/weight loss. It's Calitrin.
Create an unforgettable experience with the Cabarrus Arena. Learn more at cabarrusarena.com. Weddings, banquets, shows, expos, they do it all at the Cabarrus Arena. Learn more at cabarrusarena.com.
Live each weekday on your radio, anytime you want, wherever you get podcasts. This is the Ace and TJ Podcast and Radio Show.
I haven't been to a county fair in probably 20 years or more. And growing up, I never went to a county fair. They didn't even have county fairs when we were growing up, Ace and I were growing up. Because we didn't have counties in Louisiana. They're called parishes, so we had the parish fair. But I never was that big of a fan of it when I was a kid either. You know, I didn't mind walking around the fair and looking, but as far as the rides and things like that, I didn't really go in for it. But some people absolutely love when the fair comes to town, and they go several times during that week. My little friend Jenny's mom, her family lives in Lincoln, Nebraska. It's one of my favorite things to talk about. is that her mom goes to the fair every single day for lunch when it's in town. Because she wants to eat corn dogs and hot dogs and funnel cakes and all of that kind of stuff. Kills it. So you can imagine the excitement in Maumee, Ohio, when their fair was coming to town. It's usually just a bunch of agriculture type things, but this year they were really going all out with rides. Now, this is how small the town is. They were so excited they hired this company called Big Top's Magic Midways to bring them 12 fair rides. He said they had promised us 12 rides between kid and tween, 2 bouncy houses, and 3 food trucks. When they got here, they brought 2 rides, 2 bounce houses, and 2 vendors.
We got 2 rides here on the Midway.
Yeah, and it didn't even say whether those rides were big rides or little rides.
Yeah. we got 13 foot of Midway right here for you to enjoy.
And then they interviewed the owner of Big Top's Magic Midways, but he didn't want to be on camera, believe it or not. But he did tell them that that they weren't approved with Ohio's regulations known as Tyler's Law, these rides that they wanted. So he said that he didn't bring them to the venue, opting just to leave them behind. He says, quote, he did not pass inspection. We signed a contract with them in January. They kept on saying they're putting it together. They'll bring the rides. This is what the other guy said. They'll bring the rides, and they did not bring the rides. They said they'd bring the rides, but guess what? They did not bring the rides. So now the whole town, like all 900 people or whatever, are just in an outrage. Well, you promised us rides.
By the way, the Tyler's Law, I just looked it up. Tyler's Law is all about safety.
Yeah.
And,
because the kid was hurt on rides.
It's insane. Yeah, so that everything is about the fatigue on the rides and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, so I don't know how it's going to turn out. I don't know whether the town's going to get their money back or whatever, but at least the guy tried to do something. I mean, they're calling this the Fire Festival of fairs.
Oh, no. You don't want to be the Fire Festival of anything.
Yeah.
I love that.
Fire Festival of fairs.
Yeah, not a funnel cake in the place.
Oh, man.
I picture one of those quotes being yelled, "We had a deal!"
I got the contract right here.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
Our friend Richard Toccato of the Richard Toccato Companies is here, and you got a lot of pressure on you right now with the credit card debt. Let Richard help you. What are you going to do?
We're going to skip summer and make payments in the fall. How about that?
Nice.
And the best part about it is they're going to do that using the equity in your very own home. All you have to do is let Richard Toccato and the Richard Toccato Companies walk you through the process. It starts with one free 5-minute phone call, 704-800-4719, 704-800-4719, or online at homewithrichard.com.
Richard Toccato Companies, Equal Housing Opportunity, NMLS number 38652.
It's been a debate here for years.
Does great furniture look good?
Or does it feel good?
Does it fit the style of the room good?
Or does it sit good?
Well, after years of debate
and years of research,
we've decided great furniture
is good fitting
and good sitting.
Love where you live, Lake Norman, and get an Adirondack chair for just $279. In stock and ready to rock only at Sweet Dreams Furniture and Mattress.
This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Warning. If you have kids with you that could be listening to the show and you don't want them to hear a story that is a little bit on the edge as far as adult material, then we'll give you 5 seconds to turn it down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Hopefully all those little snot-nosed brats are gone. We can really talk about them now.
Because you want to hear this story.
And this story has been in the making for a while. There's a couple named Joe Boyette and Mary Sweat. Boyette and Sweat facing charges for an X-rated stunt that they recently pulled at a family restaurant in Waycross, Georgia. They filmed themselves at a place called Rodeo Mexican Restaurant, which I'm guessing is a Mexican restaurant. And Joe used a funnel to drink a margarita from Mary's buttocks.
Crack don't smoke itself. You know what I mean?
The funnel didn't work very well, or maybe too well, because Joe threw away the funnel and then just poured the drink down through her buttocks and drank it. And they're in a booth in the restaurant, and it happened several months ago. But they said that Mary actually ratted on herself because she was upset that somebody leaked the video online, and so she went to the cops and said, "Arrest that person who shared that video." But they arrested her and Joe for public indecency, and the restaurant put out a statement calling the stunt unacceptable.
Yeah, and she's essentially nude in the restaurant, right?
Yeah, pants down.
Pants down.
And not reflective of the family-friendly dining experience they strive for. And they also said if any employee was involved, they're going to take appropriate action against that employee. But according to the reports, someone who works there gave them the funnel.
Oh, God.
So that's a little unnerving in and of itself to know that you're eating in a restaurant that has a beer funnel available. Well, but they could be using it in the bar or whatever.
Or maybe they had it in their car.
Party. Yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah. But their mugshots show them almost sheepishly grinning.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if white trash just doesn't, they don't know the depth of what's going on around them at the time when they're getting arrested. But there's no other way to describe this other than trashy. Like, these people are trashy.
It's not an X-rated restaurant. It's just your average picture.
Well, if you're going to an X-rated restaurant, you're trashy.
But I mean, picture the Mexican restaurant you go to, because we all go to one with your family, and then somebody having their pants down and they're funneling beer out of in the middle of the restaurant.
How do y'all feel about a pitcher of margaritas?
I guess I'm okay with it.
Is it frozen?
No, they're usually on, just on the rocks.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
Unless they just bring, the blender over to the table and you just start pouring it out like you do at home.
I'm okay with it.
All right, slow down. Let's just get one.
Yeah, and I would think that you wouldn't be pouring frozen margaritas down someone's buttocks. I don't have any experience with it, but I pictured it just being, somewhat of a luge.
Yeah, you didn't do butt luges at the at the club.
No.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
Hey, we're here once again with our friend Richard Tucato with the Richard Tucato Companies, and there are a lot of people in credit card debt right now. I mean, the credit card debt is hot. Now, Richard is the guy that could possibly be relieving you of that credit card heat.
That's right. Let's cool you off for summer. Ooh. No payments till fall, and get rid of all the credit card debt. Ace, we paid off $67,000 with the extra equity that everybody is gaining in this market. Literally, she is saving $1,326 a month. If you have credit card debt, get rid of it. Take the pressure off.
This is a member of the radio family who is saving $1,326 a month, all using the equity within her home, all because she called 704-800-4719 and let Richard show her how it works. Or you can also go to homewithrichard.com. But again, you've got the money right there. Let the Richard Tucato Companies help you. 704-800-4719, the Richard Tucato Companies.
Richard Tucato Companies, Equal Housing Opportunity, NMLS number 38652.
Live each weekday on your radio, anytime you want, wherever you get podcasts. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
I'm going to say country person in the South is going to cringe at this story. I didn't say redneck. I said more country, rural type. That doesn't necessarily mean redneck. But it happened in Connecticut. If this would have happened in the South, I think people would have been attacked by the citizens. A car dealership in Connecticut is in trouble because a guy took his 2018 Chevy Camaro in for service. It had less than 1,000 miles on it. And when the owner took it to the dealership, he said, do not leave the lot because this is a special Camaro valued at $97,000. So, according to the story, a service advisor and another employee took the car out for a joyride. They just couldn't stand it. They floored it. It quickly hit 90 miles per hour, and they lost control, crashed into a guardrail, and it was a complete loss.
They totaled it.
Yep. So the driver was ticketed in the crash, but the dealership is the one in trouble now because the Camaro owner has filed a lawsuit against them. But you see what I mean? If that story got out and that happened, let's say, Ace, in Colfax, Louisiana, people of the town of Colfax would be hunting these people down and trying to put some street justice on them. If you don't do a Camaro that way.
And you know, I always think of this. There was a moment. They're flying down the road, 90 miles an hour, having the time of their lives. And that car begins to get sideways. And the driver begins to think, no, 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 no. Mm-hmm. And it's like that moment where something fun goes out, spirals out of control, and you realize this is about to be really bad. And you can't stop it. That's the worst part. Oh, no, 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 no.
But I'm figuring that it happened quickly as a surprise.
Oh, yeah.
Because they didn't realize that when they hit it, it would do that so quickly, and boom.
Whoa.
What kind of service do they need with less than 1,000 miles?
You still have to get stuff done to, especially if it's got, it's all special and everything.
You may even have an upgrade to something done to it.
Still needs to be checked periodically and given the once over.
Putting some new exhaust, some new pipes on it.
Some glass packs. You got to put some glass packs on it.
Hell yeah, I want to be like that.
I want that thing to sound like Jake Brakes on the 18-wheeler when it's I want them to hear it in the next county, brother.
Take that dang catalytic converter off of there.
Ooh, man, put a water hose and knock the glass out of them pipes. Just put it right there in the tailpipe, bust the glass out, make it louder.
I hadn't thought about that in years. That just made my entire day right there.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
Meal delivery services are a big thing right now, but Table and Twine is your local meal delivery service. The meals are fresh, not frozen like national chains. Plus, their meals start at just $7.99 a serving. Take back that time in your day, leave the shopping, preparation, and cooking to Table and Twine. Get details at tableandtwine.com. That's tableandtwine.com.
If it's trending, it's here now. This is Now Trending with Riggins on the Ace and TJ Show.
Big movie news today. Inside Out 2 has now become the largest, highest grossing Pixar movie of all time, dethroning The Incredibles 2 from, I think, 2017. So, yeah, Rob, you were not a fan of that movie?
It's not very good. I don't think so.
Well, everybody seems to love it.
They're stupid.
A lot of people went to go see it, and it's not done. I mean, it just came out, a month ago or so. But it is now the fourth highest grossing animated movie of all time. The fourth. It's Frozen, the Super Mario Brothers movie, and like Frozen 2, I think. And this sits at number 4. And it's close. So this might become the largest animated movie of all time. Hard to believe when you have Toy Story out there and things like that. The Incredibles, Cars.
And that franchise is the highest grossing animated franchise ever, right?
The which one?
The Inside Out 2, isn't that part of the Despicable?
No, that's Despicable Me and Minions.
Yeah, I'm on the wrong thing.
Wrong thing, but those are monster movies too.
Yeah.
Those are monster. Biggest opening for a July 4th box office weekend.
I'll go back to reading about adult stuff over here.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, it's stuff like for adults, not adults.
Right. You're talking about the OnlyFans, the printed word.
I'm just going to be quiet all the way. Sorry, I'm going to be quiet all the way around. Never mind.
Not adult.
I should have just kept my mouth.
Well, and that is adult stuff, sadly.
Well,
I'm sorry.
If it weren't adults who were really pushing that, Rob wouldn't be complaining that it sucks.
Good point. True enough. Fair enough. Yep. Ace mentioned earlier that today you can go to 7-Eleven and get a free Slurpee because it is July 11th, 7-Eleven. So that's wonderful. But it's also National Mojito Day. So I don't know. Maybe get your Slurpee, grab a mojito.
I hate a mojito.
I don't
dump them together.
I like the taste of it. I don't like there's always little particles or something.
Mint leaves.
Yeah.
That's what makes it taste like a mojito.
I know they taste good. They fleck. I don't just like getting little pieces of leaf in my mouth. That's gross.
It's like a salad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
salad in your cocktail. Not fun. And then Britney Spears has her brother moving into her house. Her brother Brian, who was living in Louisiana, so he, it took him a few years, but he finally got out of there.
Yeah.
So now he's in L.A. with Britney. I think it's a good move because he's the only member of her family that seems to have a positive relationship with her. So having him move in to sort of keep an eye on things, I think is probably a good idea.
Maybe settle life down a little bit.
Yeah, having your siblings around can be a real positive thing. So hopefully that's a good move for her. Crazy story out of the airport. I'll share it with you next.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
When it comes to losing weight, sometimes you don't even know where to start. You know that it needs to happen, but you need some help. Well, you start by going to acetj.com/weight loss and ordering Calitrin. Calitrin is scientifically proven to help you lose weight, and it is not a drug. It is not a drug. Repeat that. So here's what you do. You go to acetj.com/Calitrin, order 3 months, and then you'll get 3 months free. 4 months, 4 months free. That's how it works with Calitrin.
Available when you want it, how you want it. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
This is kind of a wild story. If you're squeamish, this might not be for you, but I was blown away by this. A guy was flying into China, and officers stopped him and patted him down. I guess that's what they do in airports. They actually pat you down. And they found a bunch of taped up canvas bags in his pants. And he wasn't smuggling drugs into mainland China. They found over 100 snakes.
Oh my God.
In his pants.
That gives me the creeps. So each of the snakes were in individual bags?
I guess they were they said 6 canvas bags, so I would imagine what's 100 divided by 6?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, just a handful of snakes in a bag.
Can you imagine sitting on a plane with these bags taped to your legs, and you've got to be able to feel them squirming the entire snakes. They've got to be moving around the entire time.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean,
I would lose my mind just.
True. And then add 103 more.
That's where that would take take a little nerve.
They're getting used to.
Yeah.
But they're 5. They're not even exotic snakes. They're milk snakes, a western hognose snakes, corn snakes, Texas rat snakes, and bull snakes.
Yeah, all non-venomous.
All non-venomous, non-native to China. But we got corn snakes, you can go outside right here at the dang studio. We got a bunch of corn snakes out there. So, 104 total.
Cream style, we got them all.
Yeah. So I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if these are meant to be pets or are they going to be eaten. I'm not really sure.
How did he fit all this into his pants?
In his what?
Pants.
His pants.
His pants.
In your little pants.
Yeah. Stuff them in there.
You can say the word pants on the radio.
I don't know why. What happened there, to be honest with you. But I'm looking at like a picture of all the confiscated snakes, and I don't understand how this can fit in his pants.
He probably had some type of baggy pants on.
Yeah, big cargo pants.
Loose cargo pants.
He's wearing some Jinkos?
Some linen.
Yeah, maybe.
He's wearing some linen yoga pants.
So one snake, that's perfectly fine. Like TJ pointed out, you get used to carrying around one snake. But what do you have way too many of? I mean, 104 snakes, that's just too much to be carrying on your person, I think. What do you have way too many of? It could be anything. At the Ace TJ Show, we'll get your answers next.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
If you want all of the heating, air, and electrical work in your house done by the very best, then you need Bradham Brothers. They've been a family business thriving for over 50 years, and that means they're doing something right. Go to Bradham Brothers.
Don't just listen to the Ace and TJ Show. Watch it. Now available 24 hours a day on YouTube. Just search for Ace TJ TV. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
What do you have way too many of? We were sharing this story about a guy flying into China. Security patted him down. They found 104 snakes on him, packed into 6 canvas bags that were then taped up. 104 snakes on him, ready to get on a plane. It's so crazy. What do you have way too many of? We know TJ has way too many ice chests, and we know I have way too many pillows on my bed. We learned last week that Tech D Rob has hundreds and hundreds of these trading cards for a Star Wars trading card game.
I thought you were about to say the word stupid, and we were about to fight.
No, I don't know. Well, they probably are stupid. I don't know that, though.
Some people would say maybe that I have way too many fiber capsules.
Yes, that bottle you showed in that video, I thought that was a joke.
Yeah. I mean, you get it at the BJ's warehouse. She keeps me regular.
What?
How many pills were in it?
I'm not sure. Hundreds and hundreds. Well, it's at a warehouse close, so it's a giant bottle.
Like a year's supply.
And you take a lot of fiber.
Yeah.
How many pills a day? I was going to say,
6 a day, yeah.
I thought it was 4 a day, but it was 6 a day.
Crap.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
know.
what I say, Rob. That's what it's for.
6 a day. Wow.
Ace's wife might say he's got too much memorabilia. He has a lot of that kind of stuff.
She would say that, but she'd be dead wrong.
Yeah.
You know why? Because she doesn't have any memorabilia.
Retro shirts as well. Has he got too many of those, right?
I have one. It's like, well, I have a couple, but it's never good.
He's got a few.
He said his wife's got too many damn opinions.
Yeah. She got too
That's
many
what she's
opinions.
got.
She's got too many shoes at the bottom of the stairs.
And too many words coming out of that mouth.
Too many workout outfits.
So what is it for you? What do you have way too many of? At the Ace TJ Show, Diane said socks. I have roughly 125 pairs. 125? Seems like a bit too much.
That's a lot.
There's so many of these.
With 125 pairs of socks, the only thing I can think is there've got to be some that don't match up. Like you get that random, that drives me, I would be freaking out. If I had like 20 loose socks, it'd be crazy.
Yeah.
If that's not a Southernism.
What?
Not just match, but match up.
Match up. I got all these socks, none of them match up. That's great.
That's true.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
Richard Toccato, the Richard Toccato Companies is here, and you know he's all about options. That's what you're always saying. I got options. I got options. What are the options?
The options are to get the equity out of your house at the most cost-effective way that's going to save you the most amount of money, paying off credit cards, home improvement, whatever you want to do.
And that's one of the reasons you would use the Richard Toccato Companies instead of a bank, because they give you so many options. And it all starts with one free 5-minute phone call, 704-800-4719, or online at homewithrichard.com.
Richard Toccato Companies, Equal Housing Opportunity, NMLS number 38652.
This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Did you hear about the guy in New Hampshire that was arrested at a water park?
Yeah.
The old guy?
They found him.
Listen to this. It's crazy.
Yeah, it was the middle of the day. It was like 4 p.m. He was at a water park, and he got arrested because he had passed out next to the lazy river. Oh, and he was naked, drunk.
74 years old, I think.
74.
Yeah.
74. And drunk and naked by the lazy river at a water park.
I mean, give me a break. Yeah. Drinking at a water park's fun, but getting so drunk that you take your clothes off at 74 and pass out next to the lazy river. And I saw the mugshot. He seems pleased with himself. He seems like he's having the greatest day of his life. He is smiling from ear to ear.
I wonder if he was there with his grandkids or his family.
Yo, I'm sure. Yeah, he's not going alone.
You're not going to. You and your wife probably don't decide to go to the water park for the day, so you had to be there with family, which means grandkids probably. And they're like, his granddad got arrested. He was naked.
Yeah. No one's keeping an eye on Grandpa. Like if you watch him boozing that hard.
What are we doing?
Yeah, maybe they were just off running, playing in the park, and he said, "I'll just wait here for you." And they've been gone for hours.
Yeah,
I'm gonna sit here under the tree, and y'all go down the Rip Roaring Rapids.
When he sobered up, he said, "It was extremely poor judgment. I'm extremely remorseful and respectful."
And well, no, you're not.
Respectful.
No, you weren't respectful at all. You were disrespectful, is what you were, to that water park and everybody there.
Well,
and you shouldn't have used the same word, extremely, that close together in your statement.
That's true.
That closely.
But you know what? Everybody makes some. And I don't know about the nudity part of how that occurred, but he's embarrassed. He was wrong. He just got a little carried away. I'm sorry. You know, he didn't.
Everybody makes mistakes.
Everybody makes mistakes.
Yeah, I don't think. I'm guessing that's not the first time this type of thing has happened. So there had to be signs.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, like that show that I watch, Evil Lives Here. It always says, never would have thought that he could do what he did. ... But there had been signs.
The signs were there. And speaking of older drunk naked guys, Ace will be doing a live edition. I didn't know how else to segue into that. Ace is doing a live edition of The Meaningful Meeting on July 24th, Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday, July 24th.
At Lost Worlds Brewing. So if you want to learn more about that, we'll have more details in the days to come. And if you'd like to learn more about our charity, head over to paytonspromise.org.
It's PAYTONS, promise.org. I always need to mention that.
So check it out.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
Hey radio family, we've got a new way to win. Ace TJ Prime Rewards. Win great stuff like gift cards, Ace and TJ merch, concert tickets, and exclusive money can't buy experiences. Win it all with Ace TJ Prime Rewards. It's so easy. Download the Ace and TJ Family app in your app store or at acetj.com/app and start winning with Ace TJ Prime Rewards. New winners every week. Fun and free. Get the app and play Ace TJ Prime Rewards. We always knew you were a winner. Now it's your chance to prove it. Get the app today.